Okay, back in the basement, so we have the frame refresh thing with the fluorescent lights. Apologies, I don't think there's anything I can do about that. Alright, so yesterday I went shooting with the Broad River Tactical Upper and the HITEC Arms silencer, and I'm going to talk about the silencer today. So, before I went shooting yesterday, it was completely clean, except for the back of the receiver, the adapter, the steel piece that goes on, actually onto the threads of the barrel. I hadn't been able to get it off. Obviously, I have it off now. I hadn't been able to get it off, so the bottom wasn't clean, the very, very bottom. But however, today, after shooting yesterday, I shot 12 mags yesterday. We'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, I put the spanner wrench that comes with the device, and then I did one of these guys, and I was able to finally break this loose. So, besides this and the very bottom of the tube, it was completely clean, and more importantly, dry. What I had been doing before when I went shooting was I got this welding supply anti-splatter stuff, and I had been spraying down everything with it, just soaking it in it in an effort to keep the amount of fouling down. So yesterday I shot 360 rounds, 370, and then I shot 30 for testing. So I fired 400 rounds yesterday out of this thing, and it's not bad at all. So here we are in order from inboard to outboard. The outboard cap is not bad. It's not bad. The baffles, they're all right. There's not a whole lot. You could see it's wiping off all right. And in a second here, I'm going to grab a steel brush and wipe it down. But I just wanted to talk about the suppressor and how it performed and everything. It did all right. Yesterday was my first time really firing what you could call fast. Yesterday was my first time doing a bill drill. I don't know why it's called a bill drill, but it's from whatever distance, 3 paces to 25 paces, and you just go from a resting position to 6 rounds on target and about the size of, whatever your metric is. Just do it as quickly as you can while still getting all the rounds on there. I never tried that before. I tried it with this thing. It worked great. I did about 3 mags of that very fast, and at that point it was kind of hard to hold on to this because it was so hot. So yesterday I feel like it was my first time really pushing the system. Let me grab the upper. The upper with the suppressor. It's my first time really pushing the system. I think it worked well, except for a couple of things. Number one, this silver mark right here, I made with my silver Sharpie. After about 2 mags, this has rotated about 1/8 of a turn. I'm really not happy with that. What I think I'm going to try is get a star washer. So here's the very bottom piece. So this is where it threads into here, all the way down there at the end of the barrel. I think I'm going to get a star washer and put it on and see if that'll help prevent the threading off. Beyond that, it came with some rubber pieces that are supposed to go for like the MP5 if you're using this with an MP5. But that's just not going to create a very good seal, and I don't think that's going to work. So anyway, I fired 400 rounds yesterday, and the reason I stopped firing is because of this guy right here, and you could see some powder just fell out of that. So I was firing out of this magazine. I have fired 10 rounds. This was round 11. I pulled the trigger and I got a pop, and I had no idea what it was. I went to go clear the pistol, and this round was in there, and what happened was The hammer had hit the firing pin hit the primer detonated, but it did not ignite the powder. And so the bolt came back far enough, kicked out the primer somehow. I don't know. I didn't find the primer. But anyway, it was already pretty hot out there, and I said, I think that's enough shooting for today. But there's powder coming out of here. It just didn't ignite the powder. So that's a failure on spear, I think. So I think my next 1,000 rounds that I buy, it's going to be the Winchester NATO ammo, and we'll go from there. It's nice to have the total metal jacket that creates less fouling. However, not a whole lot of fouling after 400 rounds, and 400 rounds is probably going to be my max range trip anyway. So I think I'm going to end up going with the NATO. Well, I will for the next 1,000 rounds, and I'll see if anything happens. But anyway, I'm going to set this up and start cleaning these and see how quickly that goes. And we'll go from there. Oh, yeah. So there was something else I was going to talk about. Oh, yeah. And then I'll also do a clip. I'm going to take the handguard off of here and clean the barrel that way. HITEC Arms makes a brush that goes over the barrel and cleans it. I don't think I'm going to get that. I think I'm just going to take off the handguard every time. Once you get the rubber cover off, it's only, I think there was 6 hex screws, and I think I'm just going to do it that way. But we'll see. Alright, so I can't really see what's going on there, but we're going to try cleaning these off and see how difficult it is. I got my steel brush here. Let me do this. Bring the trash can over, so if I have to scrape anything big off, I can just do it directly in the trash can, or just wipe all this crap into the trash can. So it's coming off pretty easy. All of these are aluminum. This is the only steel piece. Oh, and the spring. There's a spring that goes on top of here. The spring is steel, obviously. But yeah, as far as firing this dry, it comes off easier when you put the anti-splatter stuff. That can was kind of expensive, so I'd rather not purchase it if I don't have to. But this is working all right. You know what? I'm trying one of the baffles. So the baffles, as I try and keep them set up the same way. So this is most inboard, most outboard. Let's go with the most inboard one. Oh yeah, that's coming off pretty easy. Now, none of this is going to come off with a paper towel wipe. With the anti-splatter spray, most of this came off with just a wipe with the towel. Yeah, all right, so this is going to take some scrubbing. Ooh, okay. So this most inboard guy, the K-baffle, there's definitely a lot of buildup there, and like I said, it's about 400 rounds that I fired. Let's see. All right, it's coming off pretty well where I can, on the outside of the K-baffle, which makes sense. You're going to have cooler gases at a lower pressure on the outside here. So that's coming off pretty easy. But still, it's not a wipe with the paper towel. I'm having to get the brush in here and actually do some scrubbing on the inside there. Yeah, that's gonna take a good amount of scrubbing in there. I don't know if the camera can see that. That's gonna take a good amount of scrubbing in there. Let's go with the outboard baffle, the most outboard baffle. Okay, yeah, a lot easier. Let's see how that looks. I don't know if the camera can see that, but it's all, yeah, it's coming off a lot easier, at least on the inside. And on the outside of the baffle, oh yeah, pretty easy. Pretty easy. And then the bottom of it, need a fan when I do this, keep this crap out of my lungs. Yeah, it's coming off pretty easy. Let's try the bottom piece of the steel plate. This has had probably like 700 rounds without cleaning because I couldn't quite get it off all the way last time. That's interesting. So the ports in the barrel, there's 6 spots, and you can see where it has, let me check the camera. You can see where it's built up. Stand by. Come here, get off of there. All right, so here's the upper. And you can see the 2, 4, there'll be 8 of these, but you can see in between the slots there, the barrel, the outside of the barrel. I'll get a better look at this when I take the handguard off, or you'll get a better look at this when I get the handguard off. But yeah, that's interesting. You can see it all built up there. The other piece, the barrel support. That's coming off pretty easy. Yeah, this is just going to take some scrubbing. And the instructions say you can use simple green, it's gentle enough. I use some simple green just to keep the dust down because I don't want to breathe this crap in. But yeah, there's some built up in there, some built up carbon crap, whatever it is. I'll do this off camera. Oh yeah. So here's where the main expansion chamber is. So you got inboard, outboard. So the ports are right down here. And there's definitely, I noted the last time I cleaned it, there's definitely more erosion. Or there's some erosion going on. See if the camera can get that. But you can see that there's 6 spots where the ports are. And there's a little bit of erosion in there. So I think eventually might have to get a new one of these if it erodes enough on the inside here. I'm not sure. So I'll give this a good scrub. One thing, yeah, and the inside here. The inside's not bad. I think I need a big ass bore brush or bottle brush. So yeah, I think I'm gonna clean this off with the simple green. I might use this next time just because it does wipe off a whole lot easier. What I would like to do is get a PVC pipe about 2 inches in diameter and about 14, 15 inches tall, and fill that up with a half simple green, half water mix, so I can soak this bad boy. I come home from shooting, take it off the gun, take the top off, just submerge the whole thing, and let that sit overnight, and then should wipe off even easier, hopefully. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm going to finish scrubbing this, and then I'll take the handguard off, and we'll get some video of how the barrel looks. Okay, so I just got done cleaning the silencer. It cleaned up all right. It took me as long to clean one baffle as firing it dry. Took me as long to clean one baffle as it did cleaning the entire silencer when I put the anti-splatter spray on it. So here's what I'm going to do. Yeah, screw that. That took entirely too long. Use this damn spray. Makes your life easier. Okay, so I got the handguard off. Here it is. Just slips over like that, and there are 8 screws. 7 of them were loose. So if you do buy one of these, go ahead and take them all off and Loctite them. So here's the barrel. I fired about 1,250 rounds, somewhere around there. It's pretty gross. Also, this is radio delayed blowback, but it is still blowback, and it's still pretty dirty in there. I've done a little bit of wiping, but I'm going to do some more. So, yeah, there's that. Oh, the bolt carrier. And the bolt carrier I cleaned last time I shot, so this is about 400 rounds. So, yeah, I'll clean this up, and we'll see how it looks when I'm done. Okay, so just cleaned up the barrel. So there's not 6 rows of ports. There's 12 rows of ports. You can see there the configuration. So yeah, I cleaned this up. It was pretty nasty. One of the best tools I use, well, I got my brush, a pick, and a little razor blade to scrape down the length of it. It was weird. There's 12 rows of ports, but there were 6 definite like lines sticking up of crap that had got on there and solidified. And I found if I took the razor and I just came down like this, it got it off pretty easily. And then just cleaned it up with a wire brush. It's not like you're not going to eat off of it, but it's fine. I was thinking about buying that brush, but I don't think I'm going to. This is fine. I'll put some Loctite on the screws, or just tighten them down a bit to make sure they don't come out. Yeah, I don't think that brush is necessary. The one that HITEC Arms sells. Curiously enough, on the inside of the handguard, there's a spot right there where there's some soot, and I don't know why. But that's at the 12 o'clock. Yeah, so that's that. And then the bolt carrier group is standard. There's no reason to show that. So yeah, this is the important stuff for